For centuries, farmers have raised bees to pollinate plants and, of course, for honey. But until recently, many cities actually banned beehives. Well, that's changing.
I'm just going to be talking about urban beekeeping.
Meet Ross Harding. He's passionate about beekeeping and sharing his vast knowledge with others. He became hooked after visiting a friend's hive.
It wasn't a big deal. The bees are around me. They weren't stinging me. I said, I could do this. And I mean, literally, that night I bought bees on Craigslist.
Ross followed his passion, and what began as a hobby became a career.
Inside of a hive, there's usually about 30 to 60,000 bees.
Listening to Ross is like doing a Google search on honeybees.
I think most people, when they think about bees, they think negatively because they sting, but they don't realize that a third of everything that we eat has to be touched by a bee.
During this gathering at White Pine Wilderness Academy in Indianapolis, we also learned bees were introduced to America by Europeans. In the summer, bees only live a few weeks, and they don't fly at night.
In one bee's lifetime, it visits 1 million flowers. Honey is one of the only foods on the planet that never spoils.
The scout bees use a little dance to direct the rest of the hive to newfound nectar.
This is really neat. In relation to where the sun is, they go that direction, and they waggle their butts. And the more they waggle their butts, the further it is from the hive.
You can see why Ross is such a hit with kids when he visits their classroom. He's also popular at garden clubs and even restaurants.
It would probably blow people's minds about how many hives are so close to them, inside of neighborhoods, behind buildings, on top of roofs, at restaurants. The popularity of urban beekeeping is just absolutely exploding.
That's why New York and other cities have changed their laws to welcome urban beekeepers.
Beekeepers for 2,000 years plus have used smoke to work with bees.
Ross says the smoke makes them less aggressive and easier to work with.
Smoke is almost like knocking on the door. I certainly do get stung, but it's part of the job. I try not to get stung, but you know, if you have, the stinger will be in your arm, and don't pinch it out. Try to actually scrape it out with maybe the side of a credit card or a knife. That's 100% pure honey.
But it was kind of cool. I did not feel, I felt protected, I felt safe.
Across the country, there is real concern about the collapse of colonies like this. The Environmental Protection Agency says the problem is due to multiple factors, including parasites, disease, genetics, poor nutrition, and pesticides.
And everyone wants to blame the farmers, like, oh, farmers. But 80 to 90% of who is buying pesticides are people like us. That's about 45, 50 pounds of honey.
Ross says that if you want to help and attract bees, you should grow native flowers.
Having honeybees come to your garden and having honeybees close to your garden, you're going to have 30, 40, 50% more yield.
Every class we run with Ross, there is at least one new beekeeper that comes out of it. He just helps people and inspires people.
Once you get started and you have bees, congratulations, you're a beekeeper. I mean, you have them. You're a beekeeper. You're done.
If you want to learn more about beekeeping, head to the internet. There's a National Beekeeping Federation. Ross says he learned a lot from watching YouTube. He even has his own channel there. For Pet Pals TV, I'm Steve Schweitzer.